Hi, guys. Welcome to Dharma Talk. Thank you so much for taking time out of this very, very hectic, busy, emotional holiday time to join me. Or if you're watching this later, for watching later. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, welcome to Dharma Talk. I am Rabia Ilahi. I'm a psychotherapist and an energy healer in Houston, Texas. I created Dharma Talk so that I can live my Dharma, my purpose, by providing you with um, right and accurate information that I've had the privilege of learning, experiencing, studying, reading about, thinking about, and having had some very good teachers. Um, and I think with privilege, there's also a responsibility to use our privilege to give back or to do something that helps to even the playing field. My intention for Dharma Talk is to be of service to you in the highest way that I can be, which means you get truth, you get kindness, empathy, hopefully wisdom. Um, you're illuminated, maybe you're enlightened, inspired. I do believe that each of us, if we gain awareness of different ideas and viewpoints that perhaps aren't easily accessible, then we're much more likely to make informed decisions. And informed decisions are often, because I think generally we're good people, informed decisions are usually good decisions. And good decisions, excuse me, help everybody, including ourselves and the way we feel about ourselves. Um, I wanted to do today's show on balancing the I don't know, tide, tumultuosity of emotions during this time. It's heard it a lot in my office, in my private practice, and it seems like at this time of year our pain is even more magnified. Whatever we're going through is more magnified, it's intensified. And part of that is because we're bombarded with how things should be. It's Thanksgiving, there's this whole loving family, beautiful table, turkey, all of that, and everyone's happy. And that's most of the time, that's just not how it goes for most of us. And then at Christmas time, if we celebrate Christmas, it is about trees and gifts and lights and joy and music and festivities and kids laughing and opening gifts. And it's so not like real life for any of you that have kids. It's just not like real life. And so I know that this is a tough time. It's a tough time to navigate how we really are feeling when we take away the shoulds or the should nots. Um, the One of the things, before I get started on some of the emotions that come up, I want to acknowledge all of the immigrants who didn't grow up with celebrating Christmas in their families, for non-Christians who may feel left out during this time, especially the kids. As an immigrant, I remember feeling like, wow, everyone is having this great time, and why don't we have a tree, and why don't we have, what about presents, and where's Santa? What is Santa? So there was a lot that maybe we take for granted if we've lived here for a long time, or if we're born in the US, that it's the same experience for others. And many people feel left out at this time. Okay, so I've said that part because I didn't want to forget that. Here are the things that I hear most often from my clients: stress and anxiety, relational conflict, which is all of our relationships, right? Family, partners, friends, coworkers, loneliness, sadness, depression can get worse. There's guilt and there's grief. Um, as of a few days ago, I'm a little, you'll have to forgive me if I'm losing my train of thought. I had my booster shot this morning, and the COVID scare has sort of taken over. And I know a lot of people are now feeling like they're back in early 2020. And I feel it too. I feel the fear and the anxiousness, and also the fatigue of when is this going to be over, and when will we be free? When do I not have to wear a mask and mess up my lipstick? When can I wear lipstick because of my mask? But it's a tough time. It's a tough time. So I want to acknowledge that too. The first emotion I want to start off with is grief. And I'm starting with grief because it affects me personally this year. My siblings and I lost our dad to cancer in September. And so this is our first holiday season without him there. And he was a big personality with the big voice, and very talkative and outgoing. And his absence is hard. I don't feel like celebrating. Grief feels big and heavy and isolating, even though my siblings and I are feeling it at the same time. No one else has. We all have our individual relationships with our parents, caregivers, and so we're all missing my dad in different ways. Many of you also have lost people in the past year. I had a client text me today that her grandmother died this morning. And my heart goes out to her because that's tough. That's tough. It's sad. And it kind of sucks at the same time. So I'll get into some of the complexities of grief in just a moment. And also, I want to mention that grief isn't only because of death, because we've lost someone, they've passed on. Grief can also be the end of a relationship, a divorce, being laid off or being fired, losing friendships, family members that we don't want to be with or don't want to be with us. Can even be our kids not coming home, and it's a loss because it's not, something's missing, and that is grief. But feeling sad in grief is appropriate. Feeling sad means that our heart is open and that our heart feels love. And so if we weren't feeling sad, maybe we wouldn't be loving as much either. So it's the good and the bad of having sensitive, open hearts. But when we're facing grief, What I want you to do, if you are in grief right now, first, allow this sadness, allow the grief to come in. Allow your heart to be open and yourself to feel the sadness and the grief. It's okay. You won't ever not come out of it, because I hear that too. Like, if I give in to this sadness, then I'll never come out of it. But we do. As human beings, we're very resilient, and we do come out of it when we allow it to be, because it is a natural, normal, healthy feeling to feel grief. Cry if you want to cry, pray if you want to pray, or the experience I have, quite honestly, is at times when I think about, on Sundays, my dad would come over every Sunday, and just things he would say. As long as I've lived, he's had very similar things, and my knees want to buckle, and I want to fall to the ground, and I hold on to a counter, or sometimes I'm just glad I'm sitting down, because my legs feel so weak. I've lost a certain kind of grounding that our parents give us. But I allow that, because in a way it's honoring how much I love my dad. The same when I miss my mom, although that was almost 10 years ago. But the thoughts of them, looking at their pictures, remembering times with them, is heartbreaking. It magnifies my love for them and the loss. And if I have to take the loss to feel the love, I'm okay with that. So maybe grief can be sweet, and sadness can be sweet, because love is sweet and love is painful. And in this human experience, we hope that we give ourselves permission to feel all of our feelings, because they're ours and they're normal, and they're a gift. To be able to feel is a gift. The other thing, someone said this to me recently about feeling really guilty because everything's going great in their lives. Their marriages are good. Income was like super good since the pandemic. Business is booming. Families here. No one's sick. Everyone is healthy. And they're like, oh my God, there's so many people who are suffering. And look at the death toll. Look at poverty in the world. Look at, genocide, and look at the high number of suicides we've had since the pandemic, the increased drug addiction we've had since the pandemic, the job losses. Why the hell why should I be happy? Why should I enjoy? I feel guilty. And I want to say to you, any of you out there who feel guilty, I'm not one of them, by the way, but for any of you that feel guilty for things being so great, I want you to allow yourself to feel good, to feel happy, and to feel joyful. Trust me, when you are in those feelings of happiness and joy and love, you're a lot less likely to cut me off on the freeway or to yell at someone, or we're just kinder when we allow ourselves to feel our blessings. And if this year we're blessed, great, great. Maybe we can use our blessings to help other people and share. Which I think sometimes gets lost this time of year. which leads me to my next thing about stress, anger, anxiety, and pressure. Here's the deal with holidays, especially Christmas. There's so much pressure to buy gifts, to pressure about not being able to buy gifts, pressure to buy the perfect gift. And gifts have become a measure of love, which means no gift is enough if you feel unloved or unlovable. So I want you to know that there is no gift that is enough if you feel unloved or unlovable. I want that to sink in for a minute. Take the pressure off. If you are struggling with what gifts to buy whom and whether or not they're going to be happy with it, take the pressure off. It's okay. It's okay to even skip a year of giving gifts and writing personal letters, not feeling shame or the other kind of guilt for not being able to afford the kind of gifts we should be, right? We should be giving and receiving. The car with the big red bow on it. I know all of you have seen that. The diamond rings, diamond necklaces, the ski trips, to Aspen or Switzerland, all the luxury that people post, the perfection that people post, those are very edited. And I know for a fact that we can smile on the outside and take the perfect picture and feel like shit on the inside, feel unworthy and insecure on the inside. And so I don't take a picture at its face value. It's a good image. So when you're feeling stressed out, and the stress is also financial. And I'll get into like the stress that comes with relationships. That's a different kind of stress, but the stress that is about jobs, the pressure to get the right thing, the pressure to make the home just right, decorate, have people over, have good food, cook good food, which I don't do, and just make the holidays like they are on TV or a Norman Rockwell painting. And that's just not how it is. So take the pedal off the pressure gas. So here's what I want you to do when you're dealing with anxiety, anxiousness, pressure, frustration, traffic, that kind of thing. I want you to breathe. Breathe really deeply. That means a long inhale and a long exhale. Just breathe. Notice what you're sitting on or standing on. Where are you? If you're in your car, oh, you got a car, great. What does the seat feel like under you? Is it supporting you? Notice. Be still. See if you can notice what's around you without judgment of good, bad, pretty, ugly, extravagant, nothing. I mean, without the judgment that we as human beings are so conditioned putting on things. And so we're giving those things meaning, but we don't have to. We don't have to give something a meaning. A flower can be just a flower. We don't have to call it pretty or dead or ugly. It's just a flower. So listen to the sounds around you. And if you can be outside, look at the sky. If you're lucky enough to see stars or the moon, look at the stars and the moon. If it's sunny, don't look at the sun, but enjoy sunlight because it's a gift. If there is a breeze, feel it on your face. Maybe if you have long hair, you can feel your hair move with the breeze. If you're bald, you can feel the breeze on your scalp. And so it's being in the moment. And I'm not saying that takes away all of those feelings for the rest of the holidays. It doesn't. But that 30-second, 60-second bit of relief, you deserve that. And the minutes and the seconds can build, but we have to start somewhere. So I say again, breathe. Move your body. If you can move your body, move your body. Walk. It's okay. It's all okay in this very moment because we're alive. You're alive and it's okay. So, this next feeling I want to talk about is a tough one for many people because it feeds into sadness and grief, and also illness, physical or mental, and that's loneliness. In contrast to how the holidays are portrayed, many people are spending the holidays alone, either physically or emotionally. Travels become difficult again and scary and stressful. Like, have you seen the videos of passengers going crazy on the airplanes? And then we also feel a duty or an obligation to protect our loved ones. Maybe we are not going to see them, and there are places at the table missing. So that loneliness is real. It mixes at times with the sadness because we're missing something. And then there's the other type of loneliness that is deeper. This type of loneliness happens even when we're with people that we love. And that comes from not feeling seen and not feeling heard, not feeling valued deep inside by the people you love. That is it's lonely when we believe we don't matter and the people we see don't see us or don't understand us, and that others don't understand our suffering or our pain because it's so individual to each of us. But the common thread is we all feel pain and loss. And most people know the feeling of loneliness. The best antidote I have found for loneliness, and this is through practice, is by giving. I give of myself and my heart to someone else. The act of loving, expressing love and kindness and sympathy and empathy doesn't have to be out loud. It doesn't even have to be on someone there in your physical presence. We can actually send love. We can send empathy and compassion to anyone, anywhere. You know, they have those commercials of, they're so heart wrenching, of like the dogs and cats or the animals. And I think when we see those commercials, I mean, many people I know cry because the heart is completely open. And then there's also that thing of the desire to help and take care of and to love, and not always being able to, but sending love does make a difference. Love is an energy. It's an energy that we can't see, but we feel. And so I say to you, if there's no one around you you want to give love to, give love to someone across the world, someone who can't get a vaccine or has no health care or lives on the streets, uh, doesn't have shoes. You know, loving them, loving them helps us not feel alone. And so I want you to see how human you are and how human other humans are. So that's the best antidote I know, is to give love and to be of service. So allow the feeling of love towards yourself when you're feeling lonely, because maybe you don't have the energy to even send love or pray for someone else. So I want you to look at yourself. I want you to imagine the child in you, that 3-year-old or that 4-year-old, that 10-year-old. I want you to be with that person, that little one who lives inside you all the time. I want you to tell you, look in the mirror and say to the little one, I love you. I see you. I am here. We take ourselves with us always. We are always with ourselves. So we might as well start liking ourselves. I don't know. You might find out that you're pretty awesome. I'm guessing, but you might. So now I want to get to the big one, which is relational conflict. Relational conflicts, which are conflicts in all of our relationships, romantic, familial, work, self, but I just covered that one. All of our relationships, and we have these throughout the year. It's just, again, at the holiday time, with or without a pandemic, but at the holiday time, our relationship issues also get magnified. We're supposed to love our family, especially now, Christmas, Thanksgiving. We're supposed to be so thankful for them, right? Doesn't mean we have to like them. Believe it or not, we can still be kind to people who we love and don't like in that moment. And we can be kind to an ex, a rude and grateful child for not getting the gift that he or she really wanted, a quarreling partner, or a family member. You know, not all families are happy and get along and like each other, but there's love. So here's my advice to you, my tips, I should say, on handling conflict with your person, whoever that person or people are, during the holidays. Number one, don't drink alcohol to excess. Please. It never goes well. Never. The conflicts get worse. The feelings are more hurt. Where we stop being kind. And so I enjoy a nice beverage. But I'm telling you, if you are in a conflictual relationship, Do not drink alcohol to excess, please. It is a losing proposition. Uh, I also want you, when it comes to your kids, right? Because they grow up and they don't like us as much sometimes. But there was a time that our kids really loved us. And if we can imagine how we felt when we held our newborn, that overwhelming opening of the heart, when we look into our child's eyes and know that we are the absolute center of their world. Remember that feeling. When you remember feeling that feeling, the heart will follow. That's the beauty of the heart. It'll follow your thoughts. It'll follow your guidance. So remember that feeling. Even with a partner, right? There was a time you liked them. There was a time you may have been falling in love. Remember those times. Remember that feeling. Maybe it keeps you from being cruel today to someone that you love. Maybe it makes the dinner or the gathering or the phone call or FaceTime feel good because we feel the love we felt for them, may still feel, but it's buried under a lot of hurt. But it's still there. And that's what I want you to access, is the memory. For me, I remember things like, so when my daughter has this list of what she wants for Christmas, she's not getting any of it. But I know the face I'm going to get on Christmas Day, and I think back to when she was a toddler, and right before she was going to sleep, and I was holding her, and my heart felt like it could burst with how much I love her. And so when I'm in that feeling, it's not that I think it's okay to be disrespectful to me, to a parent, but I'm not reacting. I am not meeting that energy of upsetness. And I can probably offer comfort coming from that state that I may not be able to give if I'm in the drama of the moment. And same, with our partners, when we were first thinking, oh, he's kind of cute, she's kind of cute, okay, that kind of thing. Maybe they're older, but that core is still there. So maybe you'll be nicer in the next conversation or interaction. And for co-parents, it's really a gift to your children to get along with the other co-parent, to be kind to the other co-parent. It is really a gift to your kids. So again, imagine the feeling of loving. Imagine the feeling of being loved. Your heart will follow. So the bottom line for navigating the complexity of emotions during the holidays, number one, allow the emotion. Number two, breathe. Just breathe. Breathe deeply. Number three, be still. Number four, give. If you can, donate a jacket or a blanket or pillow or clothes for homeless people or a person. Make some food if you have extra food and give it to people that may not that may be living under a bridge or sleeping on the sidewalk, because they matter too. And you will feel good. You will feel really good giving. So here we go again. Allow, breathe, be still, give. Be of service to someone else, which kind of fits in with the give. Move your body. Move your body. Notice your body. Notice what's around you. Be in the moment. You're a physical body right now. So feel the physicalness of the world around you. Give love. The other one, smile. It comes naturally for many people. I smile even when I don't know if I smile when I'm angry, but I smile often, even if I don't feel like it. So smile. Your body responds to your facial expressions. And the last point that I want to make, that I never want you to forget, especially right now, is that you are loved. You are a miracle. Your being alive in this moment is a statistical miracle. I want to let that sink in. You are a miracle. And you are loved. So my heart goes out to anyone who is hurting right now, who may feel lost. For those of you who feel guilty because of how great things are, share the greatness. Guilt is a waste of time. Share it instead of sitting there feeling guilty. Be happy. Makes the world nicer. And in closing, I know that many of you may be watching this as a recording. Take in what gets in the way of you being loving or feeling loved. Just take note of it. You can send it to me in a comment. You can ask questions. What I'm offering is not therapy. I want to make sure I make that clear. It is advice, it's guidance, it's sharing wisdom in the way that I know. But unless you're my client, it does not qualify as therapy, although I say some good stuff. So, having said all that, regardless of when you're watching this, and if you're watching it right now, and you have any questions before we end, put them up now, because let's see here. Oh, thank you, Gia. Yes, Professor X, you are loved and you are a miracle. And I don't know what Lizzie is saying, but she can tell me. So make comments, send me your comments. I read them. I will do my best to reply to them. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit subscribe. You'll always know when something is being posted. And if you think someone else can benefit from anything I've shared, share it with them. I have no problem with that. In fact, I encourage you. Sometimes that's how we help each other. I know I send videos all the time, like, oh, can you watch this? This is what I've been trying to say. That's just to my family. So yeah, that's what I want to leave you with. I want you to know that none of us does this alone. None of us. And none of us does this when we only have bits and pieces of ourselves, or when we see ourselves as broken and unlovable. I want you to remember where you came from, and remember that you are part of the whole. You are part of what makes plants grow, and animals, and soil, and air, and water. You're part of that. You're a miracle. Um, and I want you to know that you matter. You matter, your feelings matter, your life matters. So, having said all that, um, thank you again for taking time out and joining me live or watching this later. I hope you've heard something of value. If there is something you'd like for me to talk about in a future show, let me know. Shoot me a text and let me know. And I'm sorry, make a comment. I'm always thinking text. Make a comment. I'll read them. So until I see you next time, have a blessed moment. We can add to that with another moment.